अरिहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाय स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर जोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। मोक्ष मार्गस्य नेतारं भेतारं कर्म भूभृतां ज्ञातारं विश्वतत्त्वानां वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये। Acharya Uma Swami's creation, Tattvat Sutra. We are on to the now 9th chapter, and in the 9th chapter, it deals with the stoppage element. Okay, so under the stoppage element, there were 6 tools that had been explained. First one was Gupti, restraint, then Samiti, carefulness, then we had 10 dharma, 10 virtues, then we had Bara Bhavna, 12 contemplations, then we had 22 parisha, 22 hardships, and under that 22 hardship, we have so far covered 10 hardships. Okay, we will be starting from the 11th, and after we complete hardships, we will move on to the 5 kinds of charitra. Okay, so these are the 6 tools that are responsible for stoppage element in the conventional way. From the real point of view, what will manifest stoppage element? Any answers?
So taking shelter in your soul.
Very good, to the point. Absolutely good. So that is the solution from the real point of view. But from the conventional point of view, you have to involve in this kind of 6 activities, and while engaging in these activities, the objective should be to practice discriminative knowledge. Okay, so if you are doing contemplations, that is also for practicing discriminative knowledge, and if you are enduring the hardships, then also your objective should be to practice discriminative knowledge and be in happy space all the time. Okay, so that is the challenge that a monk has undertaken, and they are fully prepared for it, because they were also like us, householders, and householder level they studied all this, they mastered it, and then they got the confidence that they can endure monkhoodship, and that is how they initiated into monkhood. Okay, so with prior preparations it has happened, so they are very confident. And all these things, although it may sound that during winter I have to go near the river and meditate, during the summer I have to go at the top of the mountain in the noon and meditate, all this sounds very impossible kind of things for us, but for them, because of their practice and their confidence, for them that is a test. They undertake themselves this kind of test, and that's why they are called hardships. Afflictions are those are man-made. Okay, so that is something that a householder always feels to remove those afflictions, but hardships are undertaken by the monks themselves to test their stability, to test their uh, power of focusing, to test their what you can call sthirta, leanta, engrossed, how much they are able to engrossed in themselves. So all these are a test for them, and they very happily undergo this test. Uh, like you are all undergoing test now happily, or still you have tension while giving test? Who enjoys the test? This time we had to go and undergo these exams before the paper were released, so that if there are any mistakes, the teacher can rectify. So that was a practice, and we all appeared for the test. So the third test is due. We have not appeared for the third test, but the two tests we had undergone, and we enjoyed, because even if you get a question wrong, it is just because of the perspective. The paper setter has some other perspective in his mind, and you had a general perspective. So sometimes you may go wrong, even the toppers go wrong, but that doesn't make any difference. You should enjoy it. Okay. So you should also enjoy exams irrespective of how many marks you get. But having said that, this is an open book exam. So even if you are confident of the answer, you should turn the book, see the pages, and then answer. So two things will happen. One thing is that you will be revising the text, and the other thing is that you will not go wrong, you will not make silly mistakes. Okay. And you have seen these questions. Some of the questions are tricky from grammatical point of view,
True,
some
sir.
are tricky
Yes, sir.
from so those things are there. So uh, this is not the real test that I would say. The real test is when you encounter day-to-day life situations uh, where you don't see any way out. And at that point of time, if you apply these doctrines that you have learned here, and if you are able to stay calm, happy in those situations, then that is the test you have won. Otherwise, this marks doesn't make much of a difference. Okay, because these tests are done in that way only, so that it is checking your intellectual skill and not your operational skills. So we are looking at operational skills, because that is going to stay with us in the next birth also. Whatever you decide on the principles right now, that you are going to carry forward. All other things are going to remain here, even your intellect. Shayapsham Gyan. Shayapsham Gyan is also going to stay here. So whatever purities that you manifest, okay, that you carry forward with you, and the decisions that you have made regarding the principles, that you carry forward. And our journey continues. Okay. Even if this birth ends, the soul does not end. The soul's journey continues, and with this kind of understanding, reasonable understanding, I feel we are going to get liberated very soon. So rejoice and enjoy. And if you encounter any problems that you are not able to solve, you are always welcome to ask me. And on the call only, we will decide. So some of the principles, you have to apply 4 expositions. Now, if you apply only one exposition, karma theory, then you get the answer from that perspective only. But if you apply all the 4 exposition, then you have a very balanced answer. So that is one thing that you have to practice again and again. Then we have some other good principles like knowledge and knowables. Then we have nimit upadan, instrumental cause and principal cause. Then we have krambat paryay, sequentially ordered modifications. So some of the principles, then we have real point of view and conventional point of view. So all these principles will help you to navigate in your day-to-day life problems. Okay. So this is such kind of a learning that is going to transform your life. And I'm very happy that this time everyone has completed Viva on time. And that should be the practice. Uh, we have made a commitment, so we should honor it, because all other commitments we honor time to time. If a task is given in your job, you complete on time. You don't tell the boss that no, I am busy with this, that, then he'll turn you out. Okay. But here we are always, procrastinating. Of course, there would be some genuine reasons, but it doesn't take so much of time. Now, this Viva, that is suppose you are supposed to speak from the heart. You don't need any preparations for that because you have to just relate what you have experienced, right? So there was no preparation needed for that. But in spite of them, many people undertook the test yesterday only. That was the last day, but I would prefer that that should not happen. You should do it in advance. Okay. So be prepared, and like the objectives also you have to complete on time. Okay. You have to find time and do this, and it's going to benefit you only, right? Okay. So good. We'll start from the 11th. Himali, I will make you a co-host.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, fine. So we'll start from page number 158 is in my, and Tattvat Sutra page number is 353, I suppose, right? Hindi text is 353. Okay. So 11 number, Sayya, Sayya Parisha, that is hardship regarding sleep. Okay. Uh, you have the, nobody who have the textbook with Malteji, you read. Number 11.
I'm looking for the page, sir.
Page 158 according to the English, and according to Hindi it would be 353. So when we finish the class, you have to mark it in your textbook that this is lecture 1, then lecture 2. So while giving exams, if you want to refer anything, you will get it immediately.
I didn't attend last class. That is why. Otherwise, I would have marked it, sir.
Oh, that's good. So you should have to catch up on recordings, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I still can't. I can see 352. 352.
352. Next page, next page. So yeah, 11 number.
Yeah.
During night.
During night, to lie down on uneven or hard ground on one side without shifting, this is conquest over afflictions of sleeping on the ground. Sayya Parishay. Its nature is clearly described as follows. जो प्रधान सोने के महालान सुंदर सेज सोया सुख जोगम ते अब अचल अंग एकासन कोमल कठिन भूमि पर सोवम पहना कांड कठोर काकरी गदत कोर कयर नहिम होवम ऐसी सयाना परिचय जितेम ते मुनि कर्म कालिमा धोवम. The Muniraj, who during their householder life once enjoyed the comforts of sleeping on beautiful beds in luxurious palaces, now in their ascetic life sleep motionless in one posture on soft hard ground, remaining fixed in that position. Hard pieces of stone and sharp-edged gravel press against them, but they endure it with courage, not weakness. The ascetic who conquers this affliction of lying on the ground thus cleanse themselves of the darkness of karma. Akrosh, harsh words. To remain calm even upon hearing extremely harsh words, this is conquest over the affliction of verbal abuse. Akrosh Parishahajya. Its
Jai.
nature is Parishah, sir?
Parisha Jai.
Parishahajya.
You have to win over, no?
Oh, yeah. Its nature is clearly described as follows. Jagat Jiva Javant Karakar Sabke Hit Sabko Sukhadani Tiham Dekh Durvachan Kahe Khal पाखंडित तग य अभिमानी मारो यही पकर पापी को तपासी तापसी भेषा चोर है छानी ऐसे वचन बना कि बेला क्षमा ढाल और है मुनि ज्ञानी. The ascetics were well-wishers of all living beings in the world, both mobile and immobile, and who strive to bring happiness to all, are nonetheless abused by wicked people who call them hypocrites, deceivers, and egotists. Catch and beat the sinner, He's a thief hiding under the guise of an ascetic. In the moment when such arrows of harsh words are hurled, the wise ascetic dons the shield of forgiveness, Shama.
Stop. So two afflictions at a time. So first one was about the sleep. So the monks who were once a king, most of these Tirthankars, they were all kings, and enjoyed the comfort of the palace life, and now they are ascetic. They sleep motionless in one posture, and that also for a very small duration, because their sleep is not like us, 6 hours, 8 hours, not like that, They sleep for a few seconds and then they again rise up and then again sleep like that. So sleep motionless in one posture on soft, hard ground, remaining fixed in that position. Okay. So they endure all these kind of hardships, and uh, they cleanse themselves of the darkness of karma. This is how they uh, not only stop the karma, but also the dissociation of karma also goes on when they are engaged in such kind of activities. Then number 12 about akrosh, hardship on harsh words. So even somebody is telling them about harsh words, that this is a thief, he is hiding under the guise of an ascetic. They don't just mind it. They know that this is my past karma's rise that has come into fruition, and the person who is abusing me or giving harsh words on me, hurling hard words on me, is also a pure soul, a god like me, and the voice that is coming out of his mouth are also bhasha vargana. Okay, that is a matter substance. He is not the doer of those things. So in this way, if he is able to apply this discriminative knowledge, immediately he is able to forgive them. He doesn't see the cause of the problem with them. Okay, because he sees his karma coming into fruition. So this is how they practice discriminative knowledge, and in the same moment they are also enjoying themselves. Okay, so this is how they practice. uh, Shrenik Maharaja, he was a Buddhist, and he said that I am a Jain, because he wanted to marry Chelna, who was very good looking, and he was very much uh, influenced by his looks, that he wanted to marry her at any cost. And he heard that she is a very fond of Jainism. So he said that I am a Jain and I have a temple in my home. So Chelna was very much impressed that the person who is having a temple in his home, he must be a very virtuous person. So she agreed to marry, and when she came here and she saw that, oh, he has cheated me. He is a Buddhist, but he kept patient. And subsequently, when they were going through a forest, and they they saw a Muniraj who was meditating, and since Srenik was not a Jain, so he thought of teaching that monk. And uh, while they were away, he came back and threw a dead snake on the body of the monk who was meditating. And then while going along the way, he told Chelna that I had thrown a snake on Muniraj's body and he must have removed it. So Chelna said, oh, what you did? Yeah, let's go and see. So Chelna said that monks never remove snake, even anything. When they are meditating, they don't do anything on their own. So they said, let's go and see. So when they went and saw, the monk was still meditating and the snake was dead. So there were many small ants and insects on that snake. The whole body was covered with that. And monk was still meditating, and Chelna immediately removed that snake, and they waited for the monk to come out of meditation. And when he came out, he gave Ashirwad to both of them. It was not that Chelna removed the snake, so he should be given blessings, and the Shrenik inflicted pain on him, so he should be punished. No. So he said, may you both achieve religion. And with that action, the Shrenik's heart melt, and his mind also changed, and he became a Jain at that point of time. Okay. So this is how the transformations happen. So the monk was inflicted so much of pain. Now here we were discussing akrosh, and the next one is vad, physical assault. So we will take it both together. It's the same meaning, that even when harsh words or some actions are being performed on the monk, they always dons the shield of forgiveness. Okay. So did Yashodhar Muniraj on Shrenik, and that's how Shrenik converted from Bodh to Jain, and then he manifested Shaik Samyak Darshan, and he is going to become Tirthankar first Tirthankar in the next 24 Tirthankars. Okay. And right now, just because he threw a dead snake on the monk, he bonded such karma that he'll end up in hell. But he was supposed to be born in the seventh hell, but just because of his transformation and manifestation of right belief, that seventh hell is the potential of seventh hell converted to first hell, and the duration was 33 sagar, and that got reduced to 84,000 years. So this fifth era, then sixth era of 21,000 years, then again sixth, again fifth, and then in the fourth era, he will become the first Tirthankar. So our monks are always able to endure this kind of hardships because they practice discriminative knowledge. Okay, they see things in the right perspective. They apply the four exposition in any situations, so they are able to master it. With practice, they are able to master it and practice it again and again. So from outside, what appears to be a situation of grave afflictions, or maybe we can say adverse situation, but internally they are so happy that they have passed this test, and they welcome such kind of activities. So this is the life of a monk. So Vad is also explained, Vad and Vachan, both together, 13 and 14. Roshni.
So I'm sorry, so can you once again please give me the sharing rights? I had joined from my phone, but now I have a laptop.
Okay. No problem.
Okay. Vad, physical assault. Just as sandalwood continues to emit fragrance even when it is burned, in the same way, to think kindly even of those who beat or harm without becoming angry is conquest over the affliction of physical assault, or Vad Parishajai. Its nature is clearly described as follows. Niraparad Nirver Mahamuni Tinko Dusht Log Mil Mare Koi कोई कईम छे खंबा से बंधाए कोई पावक में परजारे तो हम कोप करते न कदाचित पूरब कर्म विपक विचारे समर्थ है सहेम वद बंधनते गुरु भाव भव भव सुरन हमारे. The great ascetics who are free from enmity are attacked by wicked people who gather together to beat them. Some bind them to pillars with iron chains, others burn them in fire. Yet, even in such moments, they never become angry, instead, reflecting upon the fruition of their past karma. Despite being strong, they endure such assault and bondage. Such venerable ones, Guru, are our refuge across all births. 14. Yet Yachan, even if life itself departs due to not receiving food or other necessities, one should not only refrain from asking, but should not even show a trace of helplessness or on one's face. This is Yachna Parishajai, conquest over the affliction of asking. Its nature is clearly described as follows. Dhir veer tap karat tapodan bhayek sin surki gai bahi, asti kam avase raho tana न समझाई
I will
झलोके
read. I will read. I will read. धीर वीर तप करत तपोधन भये क्षीण सुखी गलबाही अस्थि चाम अवशेष रहो तन नसा जल जल के तिसमाही औषधि असन्न पान इत्यादिक प्राण जाऊ पर जाचत नाही दुर्धर अयाचिक व्रत धारे करे न मलिन धर्म परछाई.
The steadfast and heroic wealthy in austerity, Tapodan Munis, through intense austerities, become extremely emaciated. Their throats and arms dry up, only bones and skin remain, and the network of veins becomes clearly visible on their bodies. Even in such a condition, they do not ask for medicine, food, water, or anything else. Though their life may depart, they do not make any request. Upholding the difficult vow of non-seeking, Ayachik Vrat, these Muniraj, who have conquered the affliction of asking, do not allow even the shadow of impurity to touch their righteousness.
Good. So what we already discussed the last time, one line that I would like to highlight. Yet even in such moments, they never become angry. Okay. Why they don't become angry? Because they are able to practice discriminative knowledge. Okay. So they also apply 4 expositions, the past karmas, they think of the past karmas, instead reflecting upon the fruition of their past karma. So there are no rocket science. Muniraj also applies this principle, and we are also going to apply this principle. Okay. So whatever you have studied, and I would state further that this happiness course, only 12 topics, and people are understanding Sem6 are so deep, they write notes, they send me to for checking, and they ask questions. So I think with very limited principles that you have understood, you have understood a lot of things because you are in Parmagam, you are having classes, you are having so many assignments, and the course is also very exhaustive. But even understanding these 12 topics have helped them to understand Sem6 so clearly, and they are really charged up. If you see their efforts, we also become so motivated that with limited access, with the right kind of things they have, they are still so enthusiastic to understand more, understand deep, and understand it in the right manner. And that is again reflecting the transformations in their life. So I think the basics are very simple. So if you are able to understand, and then you have to practice. Now, this is something that we have to do at our individual level. Practice, practice, practice. Nobody can else make you do practice. You have to practice on your own, and just see that monk also think of the karma theory. Yet even in such moments, they never become angry. Instead reflecting upon the fruition of their past karma. So they have applied Karna Yoga. Then they will apply Dravya Yoga. Despite being strong, they endured such assault and bondage. Such venerables Guru are our refugee across all births. So they apply these 4 exposition. They also apply this way, and they create a balance in themselves where they are not reacting. They are able to absorb, So that is the best thing. Then the next one is about asking. So the monks never ask. It is the householder who understand that certain such monks are suffering from some kind of diseases, and they give medicines in the form of food, and then only they take it. Otherwise they never ask for any kind of medicines, even in um, great illness. Okay. Though their life may depart, because they know that life never departs, the soul never dies, the journey continues. So they know that this body is going to dissociate one day. So they don't mind about death, okay? But they don't ask for anything. Though their life may depart, they do not make any request. Upholding the difficult vow of non-seeking, these Muniraj who have conquered the affliction of asking do not allow even the shadow of impurity to touch their righteousness. Okay. So 13 and 14. Now Jia, 15 and 16.
Yes.
14 is repeated. You can cut down one and move to the next page. Yeah. Alab, no gain.
Allowed, no gain. To remain equally content even when one does not receive food or other requisites, just as one would if they were obtained. This is conquest over the affliction of non-gain. Alap Parishaya. Its nature is clearly described as follows. एक बार भोजन की बेला मौन सद बस्ती में अवैम जो ना बनाई योग्य भिक्ष विधि तो महंत महंत मन खेद न लवाएं ऐसे
लावे
भ्रमत
ऐसे भ्रमत बहुत दिन बीते तब तप
तब
वृद्धि भावना भावे यो
या
अलाभ
अब
की परम परिशह
सहे
कहे साधु.
तो ही सिर्फ पावे.
So we have to read from the Hindi, then we'll get the pronunciation correct. Okay. Yeah.
At the appointed time for food, the ascetic enters the settlement once, maintaining silence. If in that visit suitable alms without any obstruction is not obtained, the great ascetic does not let sorrow or dejection touch his mind. Even if many days pass while wandering without success, he continues to cherish the aspiration for the increase of austerity. Such an ascetic who conquers the extreme hardship of non-attainment ultimately attains liberation. 16. Rog, illness. Even when the body is afflicted by various diseases, not entertaining the thought of treatment, this is conquest over the affliction of illness. Rog Parishaya. Its nature is clearly described as follows. Sir, can you read it?
Yeah. Malti ji, you are reading? वात पीत कफ श्रोणित चारो ये जब घटे बड़े तनु माही रोग संयोग शोक जब उपजत जगत जीव कायर हो जाही ऐसी व्याधि वेदना दारुण सहे सुर उपचार न चाही आत्मलीन विरक्त देह सो जैन यति निज नेम निवाही.
When the four bodily humors, vat, wind, with bile, cup, phlegm, and blood, fluctuate within the body, disease and sorrow arises, and worldly beings become cowardly. But the ascetics who have conquered the affliction of illness bravely endure the intense pain of such ailments without desiring any treatment, immersed in the soul Atman and detached from the body. The Jain ascetic steadfastly adheres to his vows.
So the monk Adina, he went for alms for 7 months and 9 days. First 6 months he was fasting because he was engaged in deep introspective meditation. And then when he thought of taking alms, he went for 7 months and 9 days and he didn't get any alms, because the at the appointment time for food, the ascetic enters. It is generally 10 o'clock. So all the householders stands in front of their house, and if they see any monk, they call them that padharo, padharo, and then they say that our man shuddhi, vachan shuddhi, kai shuddhi, and then they, pardon?
Bhojan Shuddhi.
Bhojan shuddhi. And then they worship the monk with 8 dravyas, and then they offer them the alms, So if in that visit suitable alms without any obstruction is not obtained, the great ascetic does not let sorrow or dejection touch his mind. Even no thoughts coming that, oh, nobody is giving me food according to my wishes, and even the thoughts doesn't touch his mind. That is very important. Okay. And many days fast, they don't mind, they come back and they again sit for meditation. This is called real monk. So in this way, 7 months and 9 days passed, and then uh, Raja Shreyas, because due to his
Purva Janam.
clairvoyance knowledge, he came to know the reason for not Adinath Bhagwan not taking alms, and so he understood the whole procedure and he offered the alms in that manner. So he took it for the first time, and that was sugarcane juice.
Sugarcane.
Yes, sugarcane juice. Mostly the Tirthankars, when they take alms for the first time, it is always the sugarcane juice that they consume, and that is how his fast was broken. So such kind of ascetics who conquer the extreme hardship of non-attainment ultimately attains liberation. Then illness, again, as I said, they don't ask for any kind of medicines. It is the householder who understand that the monks are suffering from such and such thing. So they offer through the medium of food. Okay. So 4 bodily humors, the Ayurveda says Vat, Pit, Kaph and blood. So if the balance gets distorted, then there is a illness happening in the body. And they give medicines in such form that they again able to create that balance. So Vat is wind, gas we say, Pit is bile, and Kaph, phlegm, okay, and blood. Fluctuate within the body, disease and sorrow arises, and worldly being becomes cowardly, fearful. But the ascetics who have conquered the hardships of illness bravely endure the intense pain of such ailments without desiring any treatment. Immersed in the soul and detached from the body, the Jain ascetic steadfastly adheres to his vows. So, we have soldiers who are guarding the boundaries, Jia, and they know that if a bullet hits them, they will die. But still they go, and when there is a requirement for um, admitting soldiers in the army, if the vacancies are say 1,000, 1 lakh people will apply. 1 lakh people are ready to sacrifice their life for that career. Of course, the uh, the benefit for the country is the secondary factor. Primary factor is the security of the job, and they know that they carry such much risk, and they also are aware of the benefits that if a soldier die while fighting, their family is assured for the rest of the life. The incomes that he was earning, all these benefits are there, but still they risk their life for the carriers. Similarly here, the monks, they also know that I am going to be here for up to my age, not a single moment more, not a single moment less. So they have clear understanding of this in their mind. So they are able to take up all these kind of hardship, even if their life has to go, they let that go. But they are very firm in their belief about these activities. Okay. So they never submit themselves against any natural calamities or any kind of hardships. That is what we are studying. And they are so much of prepared, mentally, that they are able to endure it. Endure it means they win over it. Okay. So if they practice discriminative knowledge and they remain happy, they have won. And at our level also, if you are not manifesting any kind of passions when a situation arises, you have also won, and this is something that we need to practice. And going through the Viva, I can make out that everyone, Jia, I was missing you. Yeah, yesterday I was thinking that everyone has submitted. So if you are not able to submit, I told you, you can always relate to me. What's the problem, So at least that much I can expect from everyone, that even if you are not able to meet the deadlines, you should always have that courtesy to inform at least, When I'm asking you specifically again, I'm reminding you last date. So this much of is unbearable, this is against the ethics, So this is something that you should always take care of, If you are not ethical in life, then I don't think that you will be able to achieve anything. Okay. So ethic is something that we cannot compromise. That you have to keep in mind very much. Okay. Even if you are not able to, you want time, you can take time. You can, if you want 1 week, 2 weeks, 5 weeks, I don't mind. But at least inform, no? There is a deadline, it is being announced in the group. So you have to respond. But I'm happy that I thought that all have attended, but just now seeing you, I thought that no, you have not replied. So, okay. But next time you should take, and going through the
Sir, I
Viva
actually
of
had my
all,
visa appointment this week, so I was so stressed about it. I didn't
so
see
you
the
have to
group
just
at
line
all.
one line
Yeah,
message
didn't
that I will
I
do
didn't
it
see the
next week.
group at
That's
all.
done.
Yeah.
No problem. I know you are busy, but this is something that we should practice, So what I was saying that the Viva that everyone shared, and speaking to each and everyone, the challenges that you faced, I feel that all of you are doing very good. I'm so much of inspired by the efforts that you are all putting in, and that's a very great news for all of you. So just continue to win over this kind of small things coming up in life, because if you have the vision clear in your life what you want to do, then no matter whatever it comes, we are able to manage it, So that was very good. Okay, next 17 and 18, Hemali.
Grass pulsar, contact with grass or thorns. To endure the pain caused by grass, thorns, and such physical irritants. This is the conquest over affliction of contact with sharp or rough objects. Traspalsa Parishayajin. Its nature is clearly described as follows. Sukhetran
Sukhe,
or
you have the Hindi with you? सुखे तृण अरु तीक्षण कांटे कठिन कांकरी पाई विदारे रज उड़ आन पड़े लोचन मैं तीर फांस तनु पिर विधारे तापर पर सहाय नहीं वांछत अपने कर से काढ़ न डारे यो तृण परस परिसह विजयी ते गुरु भव भव शरण हमारे.
Thank you, sir. Dry grass, sharp pointed thorns, and hard gravel tear through the feet, dust whirls into the eyes, splinter like barbs pierce the body, causing intense pain and injury. Even in such a state, the ascetic who has conquered the affliction pain due to contact with sharp objects do not desire help from others, nor do they remove these thorns with their own hands. Such affliction conquering ascetics are our refuge for countless births. Mal, filth, impurity. To not pay attention to the dirt or impurity accumulated on one's own body and to remain absorbed in contemplation of the self is to conquer the affliction of impurity on one's own body. Mal Parishaha. Its nature is described clearly as follows.
यावत जीव जलनहीन जलन होन तजो जिन नग्न रूप वन माही खड़े हैं चले पसेव धूप की बेला उड़त धूल सब अंग भरे हैं मलिन देह को देख महामुनि मलिन भाव उर नाही करे हैं यो मल जनित परिस जीते तिन्ही हाथ हम शीस धरे हैं.
Thank you, sir. As long as they live, the ascetic renounce water, standing naked in the forests. Sweat trickles, the sun blazes, dust flies, and covers the whole body. Even seeing their bodies soiled, the great ascetics never let impurity arise in their hearts. We bow our heads in reverence to such conquerors who have won victory over the afflictions arising due to impurity.
So first one was about Tronspurs. Okay. So dry grass, sharp pointed thorns, they are in the forest. So all these kind of things are there. Hard gravel tear through their feet, but they endure all such. Okay. Similarly, mal parishaha, that is the filth, impurity. So to not pay attention to the dirt or impurity accumulated on one's own body. So there are storms, winds blowing, everything happens to them, and their body is full of dust, but still, uh, even seeing their body soiled, the great ascetic never let impurity arise in their hearts, in their minds, and that is called winning over the hardship of dirt or filth. Okay. So that was 18.
So the
Now,
stoppage.
pardon?
So the topic is stoppage, summer.
Yeah.
तो ये सब
Is
summer
the,
से कैसे related है सब? I mean hardships.
so
तो
these are the causes of summer, So if you endure in this way, you are manifesting stoppage element. So while they are enduring this hardship from outside, internally they are practicing discriminative knowledge, and that's why they are able to win over this. Otherwise you can endure up to certain stages, but this kind of enduration where you are not being affected at all, this kind is only possible when you are practicing discriminative knowledge internally. Okay. So the monks are master in that, and with those practice they are able to endure this, and that's why they undertake all these kind of hardship on their own. Okay. Some are because of natural calamities, but some things they go themselves and endure it just to check their how much they have able to manifest discriminative knowledge. Okay. So this is a cause of summer. So
So,
all these external activities are conventional point of view somewhere, and all the internal activities like discriminative knowledge and all are the cause of real viewpoint. Okay. So both goes in simultaneously. The Tattvad Sutra is written in this manner where they have noted down the tools externally or in a conventional way, but to every tools there is also an internal process that is happening at the soul level, and that is called pure discriminative knowledge. Okay. And with that they are able to endure all these outside. Okay.
so,
Hmm.
so in the above para, we read that they do not remove these thorns with their own hands. So who removes them?
So it remains as it is. If some Shravak are coming in between and seeing that, they might remove, but they don't remove themselves.
But why, sir?
Because that is the test. They take it as a rise of their past karmas, and they want to conquer all the karmas. So the hardships and all afflictions that has been created to them, they think it that this is a cause of my getting rid of my past karmas. So they already want to uh, destroy all the karmas that are left over. So this is again a way of destroying those karmas. So internally they are practicing discriminative knowledge and winning over it, and so they don't have this thought in their mind to remove those things. They don't think also ki if someone sees and removes, then it will be nice. That kind of thought also does not arise in them. So they are so much engrossed in themselves, they are so much of their only interest is their only pure soul. So everything else becomes secondary.
so the Shravak does this. This is called Vayavriti.
Ah. But if they come towards the village side, then only the Sravaks can be met. But if they are in deep jungle, then there is no one. So then they endure. Hmm.
So, but in the earlier class, we learned that
Hmm.
there are two kinds of things, right? Parishar and Upsham.
Upsarg.
Upsarg.
Upsarg is
So,
affliction and Parisha is hardship. Hardship is
yeah, so
something
this
that
is
these are all hardships. Because for upsarg, there are two words. One is cruel torture, and one is affliction. So we have standardized that we will term upsarg as affliction and parisha as hardships. But here the last part, there are some mistakes, and we saw it that day, and I have informed them, and they are doing the necessary changes. But right now we have to, even if you consider it as affliction, then upsarg would be cruel torture. Okay.
सर उपसर्ग इज एक्सटर्नल, उपसर्ग बाहर से किसी से भी हो सकता है, कोई जानवर आ
हाँ,
सकता है,
man-made.
And this
परिचय
they
what
take
means-
on themselves.
हाँ, it's inflict
Yeah,
what
this
inflict.
they take themselves, or it is through natural calamities.
So then, so this is both, no? I mean, उनको लगता है फिर वो निकालते भी नहीं है, तो it's a combination of both, no? That's what I want to ask.
No, but just because it is not man-made, no? This has happened as a natural course of their journey,
Yeah, but they not removing it is they taking it on themselves, no?
Yeah, they are taking it on themselves, but they are not suffering, They are not suffering. Enduring means not suffering. They are winning over it by practicing discriminative knowledge. Now the children play in the cricket and all, your kids. So sometimes they also fall down, but they don't
Yeah.
pay attention to those injuries because their interest is their game, So they don't, then when they come back home, then you see that, oh, he has been so much of injury, and then you do bandages and all. But while playing, they don't pay attention to it. Why? Because their interest, deep interest in the
Right.
game. Similarly, monks' deep interest is their meditation. They are always practicing discriminative knowledge and meditating all the time.
Okay, I understood, sir. Thank you.
Even if they are hungry, you keep them calling that come. They say coming. 1 hour will pass because they are so much engrossed in the game. So this is something like that for them, that is a place for enjoyment. Similarly, for monk, the place for enjoyment is taking shelter in their soul, and when they are taking shelter in their soul, they forget everything about what's happening in their life. So it is not that they are suffering and they say, just because I am a monk, I should not ask for anything, I should not do this, I should not do that. No, it's not that way. That thoughts even doesn't come to their mind. And that is how we say that they have won over these hardships. Okay. With practice, everything is possible. Now these kids, they don't know, they don't practice, but still when when things come of their interest, they are so engrossed in themselves that they forget about all the other things. Homework also they forget, everything forget, So it is like that. Once you develop an interest and then you are getting happiness from there, you are content in that happiness, then everything else becomes secondary. Okay. Now 19 and 20. Satkar, Puruskar, and 20th is Pragna. Both are very good one. Amita ji.
You're on mute,
Mute.
Amita ji.
Sorry. Satkar Puruskar. To remain equanimous in honor and dishonor, and to not feel hurt or dejected when not given respect or reverence, is to conquer the affliction of the hardship of honor and recognition. Satkar Puruskar Parisaha. जो महान विधानिधि विजयी चिर तपस्वी गुण अतुल भरे हैं, तिनकी विनय वचन से अथवा उठ प्रणाम जन नाही करे हैं, तो मुनि तहाँ खेद नहीं मानत उर मलिनता भाव हरे हैं, ऐसे परम साधु के अहनिशि हाथ जोड़ हम पाव परे हैं. Even though they are great repositories of knowledge, victorious in debates, seasoned ascetics, and filled with unparalleled virtues, People often do not pay them proper reverence, do not praise them verbally, or do not rise in greeting. Yet, these ascetics do not become disheartened, nor do they allow any impure feelings in their hearts. To say to such exalted supreme saints, we bow at their feet day and night with folded hands. 20. Pragna. Apne, sorry. To not take pride in one's own scholarship is to conquer the affliction of intellectual pride. Related to intellectual pride, pragna parisaha, its nature is clearly described as follows. तर्क तर्क छंद व्याकरण कला निधि आगम अलंकार पढ़ जाने जाकी सुमति देख परवादी बिलखत होय लाज उर आने जैसे सनत नाद के हरि का वनग यंद भाजत भय माने ऐसी महाबुद्धि के भाजन पर मुनिष मद रंच न ठाने. Thank you, Hemali. Those who are treasure houses of arts like logic, prosody, grammar, and who are also experts in the agams and literary embellishments, whose sharp intellect causes rival debaters from other philosophies to shrink in shame and lament, just as wild elephants flee in fear upon hearing the roar of a lion. Even upon being such immensely intelligent individuals, these ascetics do not harbor any pride.
So, Satkar Purushkar, even if somebody doesn't praise them, pay respect to them, they never get disheartened. Okay. And in Pragna, even if they are so much of knowledgeable and they are so good at debates also, and even though being such immensely intelligent individuals, those ascetics do not harbor any pride. Okay. Why? Because they practice descriptive knowledge. They know that nothing is mine. All this intelligence and all that has just come to me as a part of this life's package. It doesn't belong to me. So they never harbor any kind of pride because of that. Very simple. So everywhere we see that though these hardships are seen externally of very great nature, but internally, when you practice descriptive knowledge, this becomes very natural, sahaj. It happens all naturally. Okay, they don't have to think twice about this. Even thoughts also doesn't come to their mind that I am so much of intelligent or I am enduring so much of things. People should praise me, should respect me. Nothing like that. They are very simple life, just like kids. The monks are just innocent like kids, newborn kids, 6 months, 1 year, and so is the monk's life. So with this 22 hardships, we can have a glimpse in the life of a monk, literally. Last two coming up, Agnan and Adarshan, Pratibhaji.
21. Agnan, when someone insults you by calling you ignorant or says you know nothing, yet you do not become dejected and instead continue striving steadily for the attainment of knowledge, that is conquering the affliction of being deemed ignorant. Agnan Parisha. Its nature is clearly described as follow. Can you please read Hindi one?
Yeah. सावधान वर्ते निशिवासर संयम सूर परम वैरागी पालत गुप्ती गए दिरग दिन सकल संग ममता पर त्यागी अवधि ज्ञान अथवा मन पर्याय केवली रिद्धि न अजहु जागी यो विकल्प नहीं करे तपोनिधि सो अज्ञान विजयी बड़ भागी.
Thank you. The ascetic ever vigilant day and night in his conduct, brave in restraint, and utterly detached, has spent many days observing the three restrained Guptis and has completely renounced all possessions and attachment to them. Even so, neither omniscience, Keval nor clairvoyance, Avdigyan, nor telepathy, Manoparyay Gyan, has yet arisen. Yet, such a treasure of austerity does not waver in thought. He is indeed a blessed one who has conquered the affliction of being deemed ignorant, Agyan Parisha. Number 22. Adarshana. When causes arises that could shake one's belief, Shraddha, yet one continues to remain firmly rooted in the path of being an ascetic. That is the conquest of the affliction of obscured belief. Its nature is clearly described as follow. Can you please read again, Rajesh sir?
Yeah. आदर्शन, मैं चिरकाल घोर तप कीना, अजो रिद्धि अतिशय नहीं जागे, तप बल सिद्ध होत सब सुनियत, सो कुछ बात झूठ सी लागे, यो कदापि चित में नहीं चिंतत, समकित शुद्ध शांति रस पागे, सोई साधु अदर्शन विजयी, ताके दर्शन से अग भागे. Ag
Thank
means sins.
Thank you. I have performed severe austerities for a very long time, yet no or extraordinary excellence has manifested. Riddhi. It is often said that everything is accomplished through the power of austerity, but now this statement feels somewhat untrue. Even so, such thoughts never enter the mind of one who is immersed in the pure serenity of right belief. Samyak Darshan. That ascetic is the conqueror of affliction, of shaken belief, Adarsana. The mere sight of him dissipates all sins. Here a question may arise. When a lay
Stop. So this is the end of 22. So let's first discuss and then we will move on to the questions. So 21 was Agnan. Okay. So practicing so many of the tools that we discussed, like 3 restraints and carefulness and enduring this 22 hardships and then 12 contemplations, 10 virtues, all these, still neither omniscience, nor clairvoyance, nor telepathy has manifested. But they don't waver in their thought, and they also don't feel guilt that so many years I've been practicing these austerities and nothing has come out of it, you know. So even the thoughts doesn't come, and sometimes even that happens that a newly initiated monk, you know, he may attain omniscience knowledge, and the monk who has been there since say 60 years, 70 years, he has not attained it, but they don't feel that they are lacking in something, they have some defects in them. Those kind of thoughts doesn't arise. That is called conquering the agyan parisha. Okay, ignorant, deemed. So that is agnan parisha. Similarly, adarshan, when there is a situation that could shake one's belief that arises in their life, yet they are firmly rooted, steadfast in their faith, you know, about the ascetic life, and they don't deviate from the rules that are laid down in an ascetic life. This is called winning over the adarshan parisha. Okay, so this is how they have been trained, and the journey started at the householder level only, and subsequently as they progressed in their spiritual stages, the monkhood has come to them as a fallout of that. So they, while being a monk, they endure all these kind of hardships without any extra effort. It's all very natural to their life. We feel that, oh, this much they have done, they are so great. But for them, it's just a routine job, the kind of practices that they have done and still they are doing it. So that makes all these things very easy for them. And it's just a natural phase of their life. Now we will have 2-3
Sir?
questions. Yeah.
Sir, I forgot, sir. What are the three Guptis, sir?
Manogupti, Vachan Gupti, and Kai Gupti.
Mind, speech, and movement.
Yeah, mind, speech, and
Your
body.
body. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, now the questions. One question, and then we have 2-3 questions again later on coming up after a few sutras. So we will discuss one by one. So let's discuss this question, and Madhuji, read.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Here a question may arise. When lay followers remove the cruel torture upsarg faced by ascetics and such an intention to relieve them does arise or can arise in their hearts, then what objection is there in wishing to remove the adversities caused by afflictions? The answer is cruel torture, upsarg, are caused by malicious individuals and are unnatural calamities. Hence, it is natural to follow spiritual care, care religionists, sadharmi, to desire their removal. However, afflictions, parishas, are natural afflictions. The desire to remove them does not arise in the hearts of fellow spiritual co-religionists. When someone accepts renunciation, diksha, he does so with full awareness that adversities related to the reasons are bound to
Seasons, to
come.
the seasons.
Seasons, sorry, are bound to come. If he is to reside in forests, various types of hardships are certain to occur there as well. In the same way, hunger and thirst, illness, and so on will also arise. Having taken renunciation with a firm resolve to endure such adversities throughout life, how then can he wish for arrangements to counteract these afflictions, parishas? Those munis who actively try to remove naturally occurring afflictions, who advise such acts to be carried out by householders, shravaks, or who approve of afflictions removal, even when done without their asking, such ascetics are not true conquerors of afflictions, parishas. Verse 8 and 9.
So
Yes.
wherever it is written afflictions, that would be hardships, and wherever it is upsarg, we write afflictions. So these changes will come up later on, but you can change it at your level. So afflictions are upsarg. So here for upsarg, they have written cruel torture. Okay. So cruel torture is also good, but we as a translation team, we have generalize some, terminologies so that it keeps on coming again and again. So for parishas, we have selected hardship word, and for upsarg, we have selected afflictions word. So wherever upsargs are there, you have to use afflictions. But here, mistakenly, they have not corrected. ChatGPT has translated, so they have not corrected. In the initial part, when we started with the 22 hardships, it was hardship. The word was hardship, but then you have to change at many places, and they have forgotten. So I have informed them, and they have also revised it. But now I've sent already the printout to all of you. So we are not going to change it again. Just cut it down and rectify it. Okay, that much you do. So natural afflictions or upsarg are done by man-made, and these are parishas or hardships are natural calamities. Okay, so the co-religionist or the lay person, Shravak, they will have always feeling to remove those upsarga, afflictions. But hardships are something that is already undertaken by the monk at their because of their free will. So that are not to be supposed to be removed, and the lay persons knows about it, so they never remove it. even if due to their ignorance, if they remove it, then it will be considered that they have caused an afflictions on the monks. Okay. So the householders are also aware of that, and if someone due to ignorance does something, then the monk manages those also, and they don't enjoy those moments, and they don't think that, oh, good that he has done this for me. They don't approve also. Okay. So the monks are very clear cut in their understanding, in their conduct, in their belief, in their knowledge. So they are so much of trained that all these things may sound very ridiculous to us, but for them it's just a natural phenomena, nothing special about it. Okay. So this is the life of a monk, and this is how they have been trained. When they were initiating into monkhood, they were aware of the adversities that they have to face in the forest due to the seasons change, and they are aware of everything. In fact, they are looking for these kind of opportunities. Okay. They are looking for this kind of opportunities, that when Srimad Rajchandra ji has written Apurva Avsar, uh, many of you must have listened to that. Apurva Avsar evo kyare avse. So in all that particular poem, Srimadji has mentioned different kinds of afflictions, like lion coming and eating up the body. Then he says that he is my friend because I didn't want the body in the first place, and he's taking away my body, so he's my friend. So this is how they uh, perceive these kind of things, So for them, this is a opportunity and not an hardship as such.
So I think he wrote this when his mother was on the deathbed and he came back to Vavania, I think, and he was
But
sitting with his mom.
but that was about the monks, Apurva
Yeah,
Avsar Kyara Avsar. It is not that his mother is dying and this is an
yeah.
Apurva Avsar, but it is about the when they will get into a monkhood and when they will be able to endure all these hardships and afflictions, and when they will get liberated. So if you see, it's a sequential spiritual stages of development that's happening. And due to those spiritual stages, certain things happen, and those things they have their Srimad Ji has explained. Very beautiful poem. Everyone, it's translated into Hindi also. Malti ji, have you read it? Apurva Avsar.
No, sir. No, sir.
I'll be sharing in the class. Just
Yeah.
go through it.
Yeah.
Although Srimad Rajchandra was a householder, but uh, mentally he was prepared to take monkhood, and he was longing for that, and that's his feelings at that point of time. So I'll be sharing it. You can all read. You must be having Amita ji. You can share the Hindi version if you have. Otherwise, I have it. I will definitely share it.
I'm
I'll share
sorry, I
it, sir.
have the Gujarati version.
Gujarati version. Okay. So I'll share the Hindi version. I have it. I have one thick book of Srimad Rajchandra ji, where there are 1,000, more than 1,000 letters written to different co-religionists, and along with that, all his creations are also there in that book, one master book. So I'm having that book. I'll share the Apurva Avsar.
Time period, when was he?
He was born in 1867
Oh.
and he died in 1901, Common Era.
Then it's an old, matlab.
34-year-old, only 33.
34.
He was 33 when he expired, but he had done a lot of works. He was by born a poem, God gifted poem, At the age of 7, he has written some very good poems. Yeah. So he initially printed Sem6, So he printed 1,000 copies of Sem6. At that time, nobody was reading Sem6, Nobody understood so much of spirituality at that point of time. But he knew it that some time will come when these books will be all sold. It will all be, there will be a demand for this book. And that came in times of India, that a person by the name of Kanji Swami will come and he will popularize the scripture Samaisar. And the person who gave him Samaisar, he gifted him gold coins, So he was so much of And he also made a list, what are the true scriptures. In that he mentioned 20 books name. Out of that, 19 are Digambar. Only one is Shvetambar. So that list also I will share. I had shared earlier also. Soumya had requested, I think, maybe 5-6 months ago. But I will be sharing again and Apurva Avsar. So we will all read it. Now the next aphorisms coming 10, 11 and 12. At what stage of ladder of spiritual development which afflictions occur? So spiritual stage wise, which affliction occurs at which stage? So there are three broad categories. One category is 10th to 12th stages of spiritual development. First one, where out of 22, 14 are there. Then there is another stage of 13th stage, Aryant Avastha. There only 11 hardships are there. And from 6th to 9th, all the 22 kinds of hardships are there. Okay. So we will be reading about this, and we will be again repeating. So Malti ji, you read.
Yes, sir. At what stage of ladder of spiritual development, Gunstan, which afflictions occur? The nature of the 22 afflictions has been explained in detail. Now it's clarified in which Gunistan, how many, and which specific afflictions are present. The related aphorism is as follows. Sukh samparai chadmast vitragyosh chaturdasha ekadash jine badhar sampray sarve. Samparai sarve. In the 10th Gunistan stage of subtle passions, Sukshma Sampray, and in the stage of still bound detached soul, Chadmast Vitragta, that is the 11th and 12th Gunistan, there are 14 afflictions, or it is possible for 14 afflictions to be present. In the case of the Jinendra Bhagwan, that is, in the 13th Gunistan, there are 11 afflictions, or it is possible for 11 afflictions to be present. In the spiritual stage with gross passions, Badhar Samapray, that is, from the 6th to the 9th Gunistan, all 22 parishays are present or may possibly arise. The 14 afflictions that may be present from the 10th Gunistan to the 12th Gunistan are as follows. Hunger, thirst, cold, heat, insect bite, wandering, monastic movement, hard bedding, assault, lack of gain, illness, contact with grass thorns, impurity, insult to intelligence, and ignorance to the same manner. The 11 afflictions that may be present in the 13th Gunistan, that is for the Jinendra Bhagwan, are as follows. Hunger, thirst, cold, heat, insect bite, wandering monastic movement, hard bedding, assault, illness, contact with grass thorns, and impurity. In the presence of which karma does which affliction arise? After clarifying which afflictions may be present in which Gunistan, it is now clarified which affliction arises due to the rise, uday, of specific karma. Jnanavaran prajna gyan. Darshana mohan antaray, adarshana alabh. Charitra mohani gyan rati त्रिनिषेध आक्रोश याचना आसत्कार पुराशकरा vedaniya sheshah. In the presence of knowledge obscuring karma, jnana varnya, the afflictions of insult to intelligence and ignorance are present. In the presence of deluding karma related to belief, darshan moh, the affliction of obscured perception is present. And in the presence of obstructive karma, antaray, the affliction of lack of gain is present. In the presence of deluding karma related to conduct, charitra mohni, the following hardships are present. Nudity, displeasure, temptation by women, postural discomfort, abuse, seeking alms, and honor and reward. All the remaining afflictions are presence of feeling-producing karma, vedaniya karma. Here a question may arise, while the existence of the affliction of being called ignorant, agyan parishay, in the presence of knowledge obscuring karma, jnanavarna karma, is understandable. How can there be a affliction related to intellect of wisdom, pragyan parishay, where pragyan itself is the disposition arising from the destruction or partial suppression Kshay or Shayopsham of knowledge obscuring karma, Jnanavan karma? The answer to this question has been given by Acharya Pujapat in the treatise Sarvartha Siddhi as follows. Intelligence arising from subsidence cum destruction of knowledge obscuring karma, Shayopshamik pragyan, gives rise to pride when other forms of knowledge obscuring karma are still present. However, when all knowledge obscuring karma, Jnanavarnas, are completely destroyed, pride does not arise. Therefore, the statement that affliction of intelligence, pragyan parishay, arises in the presence of knowledge obscuring karma becomes logically valid. A similar statement is expressed by Acharya Aklankdev in the Tatvat Rajvartika. He clearly states the thought, I am a great scholar, is not the result of intelligence or pride delusion, but rather the result of knowledge obscuring karma.
Stop. So we will take up the next question next. So the last one, spiritual stages, that I already explained in the beginning. It's only 3 categories and that was explained. Coming to the aphorism number 13, 14 and 14, 15 and 16. In with the presence of which karma does which afflictions arise? So again here you can see Jnanavarn karma, only 2 parishas. First one is afflictions to intelligence and ignorance, afflictions of ignorance. Okay, Pragna and Agyan parisha. Then in the presence of deluding karma, monia karma, related to belief, darshan monia, the affliction of obscured perception is present. So perception would be belief. You can change it in your books. Perception would be belief. Here perception doesn't mean darshan, samanya avlokan. Here perception means belief. Okay. So that correction you have to do. And the presence of obstructing karma, antray karma, the affliction of lack of gain, alabh parisha. Okay. So 2 from Jnanavarana, 2 1 from darshan monia. Okay. Then 1 from antray karma, affliction of lack of gain. Okay. Then in the presence of deluding karma related to conduct, charitra monia karma, the following hardships are present. These are 7: nudity, displeasure, temptation by woman, postural discomfort, abuse, seeking alms, and honor. So 7 are there. Okay. Then all the remaining afflictions. So 7 plus 2, 9, 10, 11. So rest of the 11 hardships are present in the presence of feeling producing karma, Vedniya karma. So maximum are because of Vedniya karma, 11, and next is 7 from Charitra monia. So 18, and the rest 4, 2 from knowledge obscuring, 1 from belief obscuring, and the 1 from obstructive karma, antarai karma. So this totals to 22 hardship. Now the question. While the existence of the hardship of being ignorant, Agnan Parisha, in the presence of knowledge obscuring karma is understandable, how can there be the hardship related to intellect or wisdom? Pragna Parisha. Why Pragna Parisha is a cause of knowledge obscuring karma? Because Pragna means the knowledge that we have already acquired or present. Okay. So why it is related to knowledge obscuring karma? That is the question. When pragna itself is a disposition arising from the destruction or partial suppression of knowledge obscuring karma. So why pragna is also a cause of, because of knowledge obscuring karma? That is the question. The answer has been given by Acharya Pujyapat Swami, who has written a commentary on Tattvat Sutra, a very big commentary by the name of Sarvat Siddhi. Intelligence arising from subsidence cum destruction of knowledge obscuring karma gives rise to pride when other forms of knowledge obscuring karma are still present. So what has happened? Some part of knowledge obscuring karma has been destroyed, and because of that, the knowledge has evolved, the intelligence has evolved, okay? And some part are still covered. So when some part are covered and some part are not covered, there is a rise of pride always happens. And that's why we have seen some of the scholars are so uh, take pride in their knowledge. But knowledge is something which is at the sensual level, okay? It's a part of the senses. It's a part of sensual knowledge, okay? And pride arises because of that. So it is not good that the more you are knowledgeable, the more you humble should become. But it is the other way around. If he's a knowledgeable scholar, he would demand such and such things. He would say, like this, I want this, I want that. So that should not be the case. We have got whatever knowledge we have got from Jinwani. There is nothing ours in this, So we should not take pride in any of the things. We should be humble. We should be helpful, That should be the attitude, okay? So, intelligence arising from subsidence come distraction. So, some knowledge obscuring come has been destroyed and some has been subsided. So, the intelligence has come up. And there are some other knowledge obscuring karma already there. So, in the presence of those knowledge obscuring karma, pride arises. Okay. However, when all knowledge obscuring karma are completely destroyed, pride does not arise. Therefore, the statement that affliction of intelligence arises in the presence of knowledge of karma becomes logically valid. Okay. A similar statement is expressed by Acharya Akalang Dev. Okay. You know the story of Akalang and Nikalang, two brothers, twin brothers, One used to remember things by reading once, and the other used to remember things by reading twice. So, Nikalang sacrificed his life for his brother Akalang because he used to remember by reading once. And he said that you will propagate the religion of Jainism more than me. So I will sacrifice my life. You go in the other direction, because the sepoys were after them. They were running and sepoys were after them. So he took somebody else along with him in another direction. So all the sepoys followed them, and this is how Akalang was saved. And then Akalang is responsible for spreading Jainism throughout our country, and he wrote a very big commentary on Tattvart Sutra by the name of Tattvart Raj Vartik. So he's the same Akalang Dev. The thought, I am a great scholar, is not the result of intelligence or pride delusion, but rather the result of knowledge obscuring karma. Okay. Now another question regarding Adarshan Parisaha. Okay. So that also we are taking up. Roshni, you take.
In the context of the affliction of obscured perception arising from the rise of perception deluding karma, the following specific interpretation presented by Pandit Fulchand Ji is particularly noteworthy. Here, Darshan Moha refers specifically to the Samyaktva Mohanya subtype. While this karma is operative, defects such as instability, chal, impurity, mal, and not remaining steadfast, agada dosh, arise.
Chal, mal, agad. Chal, mal, agad. Continue.
Even while right belief, samyaktva, is present, having various speculative thoughts regarding the omniscient being, the scripture, and the substances constitutes the defect of instability, chal dosh. Just as waves arise in water even when it is otherwise stable due to the influence of wind, in the same way, an individual with right belief is stable in his true nature. However, due to the rise of clouded right belief deluding karma, Samyaktva Mohaniya karma experiences mental wavering regarding the apta, trustworthy detached soul, scriptures, agam, and substances, padarth. This is called the chal dosh. Mal means impurity. When Samyak Darshan becomes impure due to faults like doubt, Shanka, etc., that impurity is known as the Maladosh. This too arises from the rise of Samyaktva Mohanya karma. Further, agad means not remaining steadfast. A soul possessing right belief may, due to worldly motivations, at times become unsteady in relation to the tattva, fundamental truth. For example, the principle, another is not the doer of another's actions, is well understood by one with right belief. Yet, due to attachment, rag, they may not remain firm in this principle. At times, they may even come to regard a spiritual act as being driven by worldly intention. In this way, three defects arise from the rise of Samyaktva Mohanya karma. Though these three are essentially one, they have been enumerated separately here for their distinct intentions. In the present context, it is precisely this defect that has been considered as affliction of obscured belief, adarshan, since it arises from the rise of belief deluding karma, darshan mohaniya karma. It is regarded as the effect of belief deluding karma. Here,
Stop. So, in the previous discussion that we had about the what stage, spiritual development, at the level of the 13th stage, Jinendra Bhagwan, Aryant Avastha, 11 hardships are mentioned. Okay. So one question may arise that why the Aryant will have any kind of hardships? Because he have already conquered all the 4 Ghati karmas, and he has manifested omniscience knowledge. So still they are having hardships. So that's question is being answered next here, that we are going to discuss now after finishing this. But that should be a question in their mind, that why at the Aryant level there are 13 kinds of hardships. So that question is here answered here. But before that, chal mal agad dos. So first time when a soul manifests right belief, it is always the Opshamik Samyak Darshan. Okay. So there are 3 types, 3 categories of Samyak Darshan, right belief. One is Opshamik, subsidential. Then Shayopshamik, subsidence cum destructional right belief. And the third one is Shaik, destructional right belief. Okay. So initially, when a soul is a misbeliever from beginningless time, right? Whenever he manifests right belief, it is always the Opshamik. And the maximum duration that Opshamik Samyak Darshan remains is only 48 minutes. Antar Murat, less than 48 minutes. Okay. So what happens after that? Does he fall back into the first stage, or what happens? So there could be 4 situations that can happen. Okay. From whenever he manifests this right belief, the mithyatva, the delusion, gets broken down into 3 parts. Okay. One is samyak, one is mithyatva. Out of 3 parts of mithyatva, one is again mithyatva. The second is samyaktva mithyatva. It's also called a mixed feeling. Okay. And the third is samyaktva prakriti. So samyaktva prakriti is called clouded right belief deluding karma. Clouded right belief deluding karma. That is called samyaktva mohaniya karma. So if out of these 3 pieces that have been broken down, if there is a rise of delusion, he goes into the first stage. If there is a rise of samyaktva mohaniya, he remains in the 4th stage, but the samyak darshan would be shayopshamik samyak darshan. And in that shayopshamik samyak darshan, these 3 defects sets in. What is this? Chal, mal, agad defects. Okay, these three arise. Who it arises to whom? Shayopsamik samyak drashti, who is in the fourth stage. Okay, and if the samyaktva monia comes into rise, he gets into the third stage, third gunasthan. And if any one of the passions of anantanubandhi kashai comes up, any one, krodh, man, maya, lobh, any one comes up, then he gets into the second stage. So first stage is also possible, second stage is possible, third stage is also possible, fourth stage is also possible, but then it will be Shayopshamik Samyak Darshan. And in that Shayopshamik Samyak Darshan, this Chal, Mal, Agad defects arise. Now, what is this Chal, Mal, Agad defects are like? They are actually known by the omniscient, but still it has been explained by Pandit Fulchandji here with utmost clarity, So what is Chal Dosh? Even when right belief is present, having various speculative thoughts regarding the omniscient beings, the scriptures. Okay, omniscient beings means apt, agam, scripture is agam, and it is not the substance, it is elements, tattva, padarth. Okay, so it is, you can write down elements instead of substances. Substances are generally 6 substances: soul, matter, medium of motion, medium of rest, space, and time. Okay, when we say substance, it is 6 substance, but when we say elements, it means 7 elements or 9 elements. Okay, so here it is elements. So this right believer will have speculative thoughts. Okay, that means there is mental wavering regarding the omniscient being, regarding the nature of scriptures, and regarding the nature of 7 elements. Okay, this constitutes the defect of instability. Chal dosh means instability. His mind keeps on wavering because it is a Shayopshamik Samyak Darshan. And Shayopshamik Samyak Darshan will have these 3 defects: Chal, Mal, Agad. Okay, so this was about Chal dosh, the Mal dosh. So when Samyak Darshan becomes impure due to faults like doubt, etc., that impurity is known as Mal dosh. These two arises from the rise of Samyaktva Monia Karma. Okay. And the third one is Agad, not remaining steadfast. The soul possessing right belief may, due to worldly motivation, at times become unsteady in relation to the tattva, fundamental elements. Okay, you can write down fundamental elements and not truth, although truth is also meaning element, but we would like to use the word elements. Okay, for example, the principle another is not the doer of another's action. One substance cannot do anything of the other substance is well understood by one with right belief. Yet due to attachment, they may not remain firm in this principle. At times, they may even come to regard a spiritual act as being driven by worldly intention. Okay. Lokik prayojan. Okay. So this kind of deviation may happen to a person who is a right believer, who is in the 4th stage, who is having Shayopshamik Samyak Darshan, because these defects are natural. So anyone who is between 4th to 7th stage can have Shayopshamik Samyak Darshan, and in those stages there exist these 3 defects: instability, impurity, and not remaining steadfast. In this way, these 3 defects arise from the rise of Samyak Monia Karma. These 3 are essentially one. They have been enumerated separately here from their distinct intentions. So, supposing Ramchandra ji, he was carrying Lakshman's dead body for 6 months, although he was a Shaik Samyak Drashti. So we are talking about Shayopshamik Samyak Drishti. So if these kind of defects you see, it is quite natural. Okay. So you should not disbelieve that he is not a right believer, even if these kind of defects are seen, because the right belief does not go away. In the presence of these three defects, right belief still remains. Okay, but this is something according to Kevli Gamya, it is known by the omniscients only, but still it has been expressed in words. So we are reading it. Like one more example, that in the mandir we have pratishthas. So supposing you have done pratishtha of that idol. So if you take your relatives to visit to a temple, you will say that this pratima we have done the pratishtha. Okay. So these are kind of defects, these are kind of defects that exist in a right believer. He may say like that. Okay. Okay. Now another questions coming up. Here an important question may arise. The same about the omniscient having 11 kinds of hardship. How a omniscient can have 11 kinds of hardships? Okay. So there are 5 logics that has been given here. We will see one by one 5 logics. Okay. So we will read this one. Here an important question may arise from there. Okay. Amita ji.
Here, an important question may arise. If the affliction of hunger, which is due to the rise of painful feeling producing karma, ashata vednya karma, is experienced even by the Kevali Bhagwan, omniscient being, then should they not also require kaval ahar, measured morsels of food for the alleviation of that hunger? Addressing the above question, Siddhanta Acharya Pandit Fulchand ji writes in Visheshartha, Jin Bhagwan experiences hunger due to the rise of painful feeling producing karma. Hence, from the standpoint of causal presence, 11 afflictions such as hunger are said to occur in the Bhagwan. However, whether Jin Bhagwan truly experiences these 11 afflictions such as hunger is itself a question, and the commentary offers a resolution in 2 ways. Thank you, Himali. Firstly, the presence of affliction, such as hunger in Jin Bhagwan, is stated from the standpoint of their nominal or formal presence, upchar, due to the existence of their causal conditions. However, in actual effect, as concrete experiences, the 11 afflictions, such as hunger, do not occur in Jin Bhagwan. Therefore, from the standpoint from this standpoint, the implied conclusion is they are not present nasanti, nasanti, and thus their negation has been asserted accordingly. Now it is to be considered how it is to be understood that the 11 afflictions, such as hunger, do not occur in Bhagwan. Since Jin Bhagwan is not physically present in this time period, this cannot be known through direct observation. Only those logical arguments remain which support and affirm the authority of the scriptures, Agam, and it is through reliance on these that this truth can be understood. Therefore, those very supporting arguments are now presented below. 1. In the body of a Kevali Jinn, omniscient being, there are no lowest forms of life, nigod or mobile livings, trustive. These begins having these beings having passed beyond the stage where delusion is completely destroyed, Kshin Moha Gunasthana, possess a supremely refined physical body, Audarik Sharir, therefore since the causes of hunger, thirst, illness, and the like are absent, they do not experience the affliction of hunger, thirst, illness, etc. The distinctiveness that arises in the bodies of celestial beings due to absence of such living entities like Nigod and Trasjiv manifests in the body of the Kevali with infinite fold greater excellence.
Stop. So two solutions. Okay. First is the conventional point of view, which has been mentioned here by the name of nominal or formal presence, upchar. So upchar means conventional. Firstly, the presence of hardships such as hunger, okay, such as hunger in Jin Bhagwan, who is at the 13th stage, is stated from the standpoint of their nominal or formal presence, that is called conventional viewpoint, due to the existence of their causal conditions. Okay, so there exist some causes over there. Okay, so from conventionally it is said like that, but from real point of view, however, in actual effect, that means real point of view, as concrete experiences, the 11 afflictions such as hunger do not occur in Jin Bhagwan. So the question was 11 afflictions in the Jinendra Bhagwan, and here it says it is from the conventional viewpoint. From the real viewpoint, it does not exist. Why it does not exist? So the 5 reasons are being given, and from that first reason we have already studied. In the body of Kevli Jinn, all the lowest forms of life, Nigodya Jeev, are removed when they attain omniscience knowledge. They get Param Audarik Sharir. So there is no violence at that level. Okay. So these beings have been having passed beyond the stage where delusion is completely destroyed. That is 12th stage. So 12th stage, these are completely destroyed. And in the 13th stage, they are having Param Audarik Sharir. Okay. Where there is no lowest forms of life, Nigodya Jeev. Okay. So they possess a supremely refined physical body, Audarik Sharir. Okay. Therefore, since the causes of hunger, thirst, illness, and the likes are absent, they do not experience the afflictions of hunger, thirst, illness, etc., etc. So this is the first reason. Okay. The distinctiveness that arises in the bodies of a celestial being due to the absence of such living entities manifest in the body of the Kevli with infinite fold greater excellence. Okay. So the some of the uh, celestial beings also doesn't have Nigodya Jeev, but Kevli Bhagwan will have more infinite fold greater excellence of the body. Okay. So they are devoid of Nigodya Jeev. So there is no hunger. So all these 11 afflictions, hardship does not arise in them. This is the first logic. Now coming on to the second logic. Upon ascending the spiritual ladder, okay, Sapak Shreni and Upsham Shreni, the intensity, Anubhag of auspicious karmic types increases infinitely, okay, at each successive moment, okay. So the intensity of auspicious karma increases infinitely at such successive moment, while the intensity of inauspicious karma diminishes infinitely each passing moment. So auspicious is increasing, inauspicious is decreasing. Therefore, the rise of the pain-producing karma, asata vedniya karma, that occurs in the 13th gunasthan is not so potent. It is negligible as to be considered capable of producing effects such as hunger and the like. So this is the second reason. The third reason, the premature fruition of pain-producing karma occurs only up to the 6th gunasthan. Beyond that, it no longer arises. Hence, in the absence of premature fruition, the feeling-producing karma is incapable of producing experiences such as hunger, thirst, etc., etc. Okay, this is the third reason. Then the fourth reason, since the influx of pleasurable feeling producing karma, Sata Vednya karma, is constantly present in the Kevli gene. Its dissociation also occurs continuously. Okay. Therefore, at that time when pain producing karma rises, it does not rise alone. Rather, it rises alongside pleasurable feeling karma that possesses infinitely greater strength. Okay. Sata Vednya is of greater strength and Asata Vednya is negligible. So also there are no effects of 11 hardships. Okay. This is the fourth reason. Then the fifth reason is in the next stage. Although the experience of pleasure and pain is the function of feeling producing karma, it manifests only with the existence of deluding karma. And deluding karma is no more there. Okay. So the Sata and Asata also is not effective. Since Kevli jinn are entirely free from deluding karma, accepting the presence of sensations such as hunger and the like in them does not appear logically sound. So because of these 5 reasons, although the scripture mentions that there are 11 affliction, 11 hardship present in the 13th stage, but practically it does not exist. From the real point of view, it does not exist. So then why it is mentioned? That is the next question. So it is being said from the conventional viewpoint. That is the answer. So again, keep on reading, Amitaji, from these arguments.
From these arguments, it is firmly established that the Kevali Jain do not experience the 11 afflictions such as hunger, etc. Question. If Kevali Bhagwan does not experience the 11 afflictions such as hunger, etc., then why does the aphorism state that 11 afflictions occur in Jinendra Bhagwan? Answer. The above statement is formal, upcharit expression. It has been made from the conventional point of view, Vyavharne, based on the rise of pain-producing karma. Without the intense rise of pain-producing karma, neither do the 11 afflictions occur, nor does the need to keval
Kavlahar,
kaval
Kavlahar.
ahar, kaval ahar arise in the 13th gunsthanak. The rise of pain producing karma is extremely mild. Therefore, in the 13th gunsthanak, afflictions such as hunger, etc., do not occur.
So Kevli Bhagwan does not have arms, just like a monk have arm in their hands, Kavla are. The monks take 32 morsels maximum through these hands. But Kevli Bhagwan does not take ahar. In the Svetambar Mat, they say that Kevli Bhagwan takes ahar, So there is a controversy over there. But this all is very logical explanation and we should believe in it. Now the next sutra number 17, how many parishas at once? Okay. So at single point of time, how many could be there? After clarifying which affliction arise from the presence of which karma, it is now explained how many parishas can be present simultaneously in a single soul. Okay. The aphorism is like that. Ekadayo
Ekadayo
bhajya yukpadeka
Ekashmi.
yukpadekasa vinnay kon vishante. A single soul can simultaneously experience afflictions ranging from 1 up to 19. So out of 20, maximum could be 19, minimum could be 1. Okay. Why 19? Why not 22 together? Because there are some pairs. Out of cold and heat, only one can be present at a time. Right? Either it is heat or cold. Both cannot be present at the same time. So that is one less. Then similarly among wandering, hard bedding and restricted posture, only one occur at a time. Either is wandering or it is hard bedding or it is restricted portion. One occur at a time. Thus 3 afflictions are reduced. So one from heat and cold and 2 from here. So 3 are reduced. So maximum could be 19 at a time. Question. But then among intelligence and ignorance, should only one affliction occur as well? Because where intelligence exists, the presence of ignorance seems impossible. Answer. Even when intelligence is prominent from the standpoint of scriptural knowledge, ignorance can still be present from the standpoint of clairvoyance knowledge and the like. So it could be clairvoyance knowledge, it could be telepathy. Okay. Therefore, there is no contradiction in both intelligence and ignorance being present simultaneously. So ignorance is present up to the stage of 13th. Okay. So long the omniscience knowledge does not manifest, ignorance could be there. Okay. So there is no contradictions in prajna and ignorance simultaneously happening. Okay. So this is end of the 22 hardships. Now we move on to the last tool, that is called conduct, types of charitra. So there are 5 kinds of charitra, and then we will move on to the tapa, types of austerity. So these 5 kinds of conduct, I'll just quickly finish in 5 minutes. After the discussion of the causes of stoppage of influx, including restraint, carefulness, samiti, righteousness, that is 10 virtues, contemplations, 12 contemplations, and 22 kinds of hardships, the types of conducts are now discussed. सामायिक छेदोपस्थापना, परिहार विशुद्धि, सूक्ष्म संप्राय, यथाख्यात, मिति, चारित्रम. Okay. So Samayik is the first one, which is called equanimity. Then we have Chedopsthapna, reinstatement, Parihar Vishuddhi, perfecting non-violence, Sukshma Sampray, minimizing passions, and we have Yatha Khyat, perfect conduct. So these 5 kinds of conduct. Okay. The first one, equanimity. It exists between 6th and 9th Gunasthan. You write it down. 6th to 9th Gunasthan. This has been mentioned in the other white book that you have, Tattvarth in charts by Chablaji. You know, the white book that has all been couriered to you. In that you can see it's there in page number, I'll tell you, page number 196. In the Hindi book, page number 196. So we have English book also of Tattvat Sutra. Did you get the Roshni from Pratibhaji?
Yes, I did. Thank you, Pratibhaji.
Okay, good, good, good. So your courier got lost in between. So
Yeah.
it's good that Amitaji doesn't want, so you can have. Okay. So 6th to 9th Gunasthan, you can check in that book also. In Hindi, it is 196. English, I have not checked, but it's there. Okay. So renouncing all non-meritorious activities of body, speech, and mind in an indivisible manner is called Samayik Charitra. Then reinstatement. When one deviates from Samayik Charitra, then by means of atonement, cutting off the faults associated with engagement in non-meritorious activities and re-establishing restraint, this is called Chedosthapana. Or renouncing all non-meritorious activities in a differentiated manner is also called Chedopsthapna Charitra. So this also happens between 6th and 9th stage. Third one is perfecting non-violence. That happens in 6th and 7th stage only. Okay. That form of conduct in which complete cessation of violence to living beings is achieved, resulting in a distinct state of purity, is called Parihar Vishuddhi Charitra. Perfecting non-violence. That is in the 6th and 7th stage. Fourth one is minimizing passions. Suksma Shamprai Charitra. The conduct that exists in the 10th Gunasthan, known as Sukshma Sampray, where only extremely subtle passions remain, is called Sukshma Sampray Charitra. This is at the 10th stage. And the last one, perfect conduct. It is between 11th to 14th stages. When through the subsidence or destruction of all deluding karma, the unblemished true nature of the soul manifest in its conduct exactly as it is. That is called Yathakhyat Charitra. So this is between 11 to 14. In this manner, these 5 types of right conduct belong to the nude Digambar monks. Upon the attainment of complete detachment, the state of liberation is naturally attained. Okay, so we close here today. Next week we will be starting with types of austerities. So there are 12 types of austerities called tapa, 6 antarang tap, internal tap, and 6 external tap, bairang tap. Okay, so this we will discuss in the next class. So today we end, and second paper is also open for attempt. You can very well attempt it. I think somebody attempted. Pratibha ji, you attempted, no? Paper 2?
No, not yet. Not the
Acha,
second
you have
one.
attempted
The
paper
first
1.
one.
So all of you are lacking in paper 1 also. So I think tomorrow is last day. But in case of emergency, we can extend that date also for paper 1. But ideally, if you attempt by tomorrow, it will be good. Otherwise, we can get the extension. I think up to 31st July, you have to complete all the 3 papers. So if you are in not able to do it, nothing great about it. We can always get it extended. Okay. But
Do you have
ideally, you
any-
should. Yeah.
I have one question. Do you have any advice to prepare for this second paper? Because I know it's covering a lot.
Yes, sir. Same here. It's really wide. It's too much.
Paper 2, Tatvat Sutra, you refer to the other book, chart book.
Or the chart book?
Yeah, it will become easy for you if you refer the chart book. From there, you get to know which sutra is this one, and then you refer the other book, our textbook. From there, you will get the explanation. Okay. So if you refer the chart, you will at a glance know from where it is the question is coming up. So paper 2 is Tatvat Sutra, right?
Yeah. I mean,
1,
there's a
2.
lot to cover. I was just looking at it today. I mean, I started reading, reviewing a little
So
bit.
maybe you can take more time, you know, if you have 5 hours for exams. So just go through the sutras, you will find the answers. Okay. But if you refer the chart book, you will be finding it easy to find the. Have you attempted Maltiji paper 2?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It
Good.
was very tough. Very, and what you said, the answer, some of them are correct. What my answer is correct, but it's a question of a perspective.
Yes.
I rechecked also, the answer is correct, but they have said it's wrong.
Right.
In one paper, the marking, it's correct. They have marked it correct, but they've not given the mark. I can show it to you.
Acha.
Ah,
So you have a screenshot of that?
screenshot of that answer.
Okay. You
That
can
is,
send it across to Soumya. He will, Himali also can. You are in the team leader, no, Himali?
Yes, sir.
So you can send it to Himali. He will share in the to Patni ji, you know, Virendra
Huh?
Patni ji. You can forward it to Virendra Patni ji.
Woody.
So you will get that marks. Okay. One more thing, I think, okay, others are still not attempted the exam, so I will not talk about that exam. But I think if you minutely find through the textbooks, you will find the answers. It's all there in the book. I have appeared for that paper myself. Everywhere it is there. Only thing is that you have to study a bit. So you can take more time for the exams and you can find those answers. You will get every answers. Whether it is true or false or it is fill in the blanks, everything is taken from the textbook and you have to.
match the following, sir. वो कहीं किसी textbook में नहीं है.
कौन सा?
Match the following.
But those were very easy, I suppose.
For you, sir.
Okay, but never lose heart if you get less marks. I don't give a lot of weightage to this. So just enjoy, apply in your day-to-day life, and that is your real test. Okay.
कि
Sir,
ये नहीं होना चाहिए
sir,
कि
can
ये
I question?
आपने प्रतिष्ठित की है, तो वो हम करते हैं, तो ऐसी गलतियां पता लगती रह जा रही हैं सर, दैट्स गुड।
या गुड। ओके। निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है।